In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make interesting melodies from just one chord, a bit of a cheat code for playing in your top melodies, as well as a few of our chord and melody related gems. If you'd like to take a closer look at any of the melodies from the video, then I'll drop all of the MIDI files for you to download in the video description. Alright, first I just want to give you a super quick demonstration of how I'll go about putting down a basic chord progression to build off. Most software will have some sort of scale highlighting feature, so pick your favourite scale to work in, and for this example I'm going to be working in E minor. To begin with, I just want to find 4 of these highlighted notes that sound good together. These are going to end up being the root note for each chord. Once you have these, you can build them out into triads by simply skipping one of the highlighted notes and placing the next one, and then repeating that by skipping another highlighted note and placing the next one. Once I've done this to all of my chords, I'll take the root note from each of them and copy it down an octave to give the progression more bass. Then I'll sometimes copy them up an octave as well to get a thicker sound. Next I want to show you a quick way of making one repeating chord sound interesting. This is going to work best in a minor scale, so I'm just going to stay in E minor. To start with, I've dropped down the root chord and I'm just going to copy this across so I have a 4-bar loop. From here, the method itself is pretty simple. You're just going to come in below and copy these root notes down an octave. Then you want to take this third note and bring it down by 4 semitones. Then take the last note and bring it down by 5 semitones. Once you've done this, you can then come in on top and play around with higher pitched notes to add extra colour. With the scale highlighting turned on, it's pretty hard to put down the wrong notes, so just go with what you think sounds good. Next, I want to show you how messing around with the timing of your chords can give them a totally different feel. Rhythm is mostly associated with the drums and percussive elements of music, but offsetting your chords and moving them off the downbeats can help give you different pockets to work with when it comes to laying down your drums. So I've got a chord progression here where each chord is hitting on the downbeat of each bar. Without any timing changes, it sounds like this. Now I'm just going to mess around with the start and end points of some of these chords and pay attention to how this will alter the rhythm and overall feel of them. Did you know there's a stock effect that's found in most DAWs that can turn a flat set of chords into a melodic sequence? The effect I'm talking about is the arpeggiator. Putting this device on your chords and messing around with the settings can lead to some really interesting outcomes and serve as your main melody or even layer nicely with an existing chord progression. Each DAW is going to have different ways of doing this, but you're going to want to play with the rate, distance and style of the arpeggiator until you find something you like. In Ableton Live 12, you can also control things like groove and even lock the arpeggiator to a scale. You can also manually break up your chords to achieve the same effect as an arpeggiator, and doing it this way means you're not restricted to the parameters of the arp effect, and you can edit the melody directly on the piano roll. All you need to do here is move the start time and position of your chosen notes to the grid size that you want, and having more than 3 notes in your chords is going to make this one sound a lot better too. The root note of your scale is always going to be a good place to start your chord progression. But doing this for every piece of music you make is going to get very boring very quickly. Next time you make a beat, try building a chord progression where you instead end on your root chord. This can help give your melody a sense of resolution and completion as you finally build up to that one chord. Alternatively, you could just start on your root note, but instead build the chord backwards. Like I said earlier in the video, with the software's scale highlighting features turned on, this is pretty hard to mess up. Now this last tip is one that I've kind of held close to my chest for a while, and it's one that I use in studio sessions a lot to look like a much better keyboard player than I actually am. This one's all to do with the keys of A minor and C major. Without going into the theory too much, these two scales are relative to each other, meaning they contain all of the same notes. The best thing about A minor and C major in particular is that they only contain white notes. Now we already learned earlier in the video that regardless of whether you're in a major or minor key, triads, sevenths, and even ninth chords are literally made by playing one, skipping one, playing one, skipping one, and so on. This means you can put this shape pretty much anywhere on the keyboard and it's going to sound half decent. All you need to do from there is work out what chords sound good together and you're good to go. This trick will work really well with counter melodies, as being in A minor you don't really need to think much about what you're playing. My best counter melodies come from me just looping the chords and then freestyling top melodies. I'd always encourage producers to learn all keys and scales, but let's be honest, in our field, speed is often key. If you're in a studio session with an artist who wants a fresh beat made, you don't want to be spending ages on just a melodic idea. Being able to throw down a melody in A minor and then transpose it around not only saves you time, but like I said earlier, it even gives you that extra feather in your cap of being able to play stuff live during studio sessions. If you'd like to take a closer look of the examples that I showed in this video, then check the description where I've dropped all of the MIDI files. If you could drop me a like on the way out, then that would be very much appreciated. And if you're still here at the end of the video, let me know by commenting "still here" in the comments. This helps the video in the YouTube algorithm, and it also confuses the shit out of anyone who didn't make it this far. I'll throw you a couple of other videos that you might like in the corners of the screen. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one.